good day, folks. Today we're going to take a look at live cattle, April live cattle futures. Should be LEJ on most platforms, could be LC depending on your broker or provider. But we're looking at April live cattle, looking at a bearish seasonal opportunity coming up on or around February 25th. It's a shorter term trade, only about 10 calendar days or so. 80% win rate over the last 15 years, so we have a lot of healthy data there. Looking at the year-by-year trade history, going back to 06, it's fairly consistent across the board. It's what we like to see. We do have this one loser year which you'll occasionally get depending on what was happening at that particular time. But this is what we like to see, is this consistency year after year after year. Looking at the historical price averages from a 5, 15, and 30-year perspective, we can see right here in the middle to late periods of February that the market does find a top, or typically finds a top, and then trades lower down to the beginning of April, where we typically find a bottom, and then we look to trade back to the upside. So looking at a chart, we have a weekly chart of the continuous contract, and what we are eyeballing is price coming up here into resistance or structure, right here into this 118, 120 area. Notice that it is also trading into a 786 retracement level. So we've been kind of marching higher here. Price action is starting to get a little bit more tired, a little weaker. Could possibly put in a reversal bar depending on how we end the week. But we also have divergent sell signals coming into play. This is not a blanket buy or sell signal down here. It's showing us that we may have a potential trade to the downside. You can see they worked very well here last time they've appeared. Basically called the bottom there in September of 19. Basically called the bottom back here in June of 2018. So what we're looking at is then drilling back down to the lower time frame. And you can see now on this daily chart of April cattle, we have a potential 1, 2, 3 top in play. We also have a potential head and shoulders top in play. So we have a left shoulder here, neckline, head, neckline, and then we'll be looking to see if we get a right shoulder put in place somewhere around here. So we've come back up to the neckline, or back down to the neckline, short-term trend line support, looking to trade back up, put in a right shoulder somewhere, and then we would look to take the trade to the downside. Now, initial profit target here is we've averaged about a 23% gain, or about $400. That's one full point. So that would take us from about 122 to 121 based on the average profit. But if we play this off of the technical pattern, which is a head and shoulders top or a 1, 2, 3 top, that would take us to an expected profit area of around 118, 119. And you'll see how that comes in nicely to this old area of resistance, which would then be support. So these are the kinds of things that we like to see. Trading with Confluence, we've got high probability seasonal data. We've got a high probability technical pattern. And we also have our high probability divergent signals popping up on the radar. Now, if you don't trade cattle futures, don't trade cattle futures options, you could participate with COW, the cow ETF. Should be pretty easy to remember. Now, not going to trade in lockstep with cattle futures. It does have a few different components, carrying lean hogs, feeder cattle as well. But if you do get bearish or want to take a short side trade on cattle futures, you could participate in the cow ETF, currently traded around $36, $37. So if you have any questions, email us at support@Seasonal Swing Trader. We put on a presentation next week on how we use high probability seasonal data in our trading each and every week. Feel free to reach out or comment. Be sure to like us on YouTube, and we'll see you on the next update.